Okay, so in this video I will be detailing the strats that I use and the route that I use in the what is now the power armor split. So basically this split goes from leaving the vault to picking up the power armor, the minigun, and then jumping off the Museum of Freedom. So the first thing I do is I turn to the left and run into the little box. So in this wooden box, I pick up. So the item in here which can spawn that I pick up are the Rad-X and Radaway. I haven't seen it spawn other useful stuff. And then in the first aid box, I pick up the stim pack for general stim packing, and anything else is either used to sell to cricket or just to make sure that I have to think about what I'm picking out of this, because picking everything out of a first aid kit is faster than thinking about the items that I want to take out of it. First aid kits can have stim packs, Radaway, Rad-X, purified water, blood packs, and antibiotics. Usually you just get stuff like stim packs. Purified water is just useful for selling. Radaway is just useful for selling. Rad-X is mainly used for selling, but is also useful in a couple of spots as well. Antibiotics, though, can either be useless or very useful, depending on what happens during the run. So I'll start off by giving an overview of the diseases that can happen in survival mode. Firstly, the ones which you don't need to worry about, at least to my knowledge, are parasites, because you eat dead bodies and so it doesn't matter. Fatigue doesn't matter that much because you save fairly and will sleep fairly often anyway. An infection isn't that important, especially because you end up taking damage anyway from being severely dehydrated for most of the run. The main ones that you have to look out for in which to use antibiotics is weakness, which causes enemies to do more damage to you. Insomnia, which basically causes you to not get well rested from sleeping. And lethargy, which gives you a 50% debuff on action point refresh rate. There aren't any other diseases that come to mind immediately. So yeah, primarily just use antibiotics for weakness, insomnia, and lethargy. But you can skip on using it for weakness if you only have a single antibiotics. Unless it's the end of the game and you're going into the final fight, then you can use antibiotics for weakness and be fine about it. Then we go over to these wooden crates. Again, they can have Rad-X or Radaway, but they can also have Molotovs. I think... Yeah, well, okay, so actually Molotovs are usually at the top. I think I get Molotovs from there anyway, but you know, if the Molotovs are above the Rad-X, get the Molotovs and then the Rad-X anyway, because that's faster than selecting to go down. So then I run, I actually run this way because it means that I'm less likely to fall and take fall damage. I run across this log, and then currently in speedruns, I run past Sanctuary. In this run, I go past Codsworth to get the magazine and the special book. In current runs, I don't do this. So, you know, currently in the speedruns, I would be about here. And just to point out, getting the special book seems to cost about 23 seconds, 23 to 25 seconds. So, especially early on, it may be useful to go and get it for extra charisma or extra perception or whatnot. However, you cannot get extra endurance from it because your endurance is already maxed out. Okay. So the bin up here contains 2 frag grenades. One is used in order up. The other is used with Skinny Malone. And then any others that you pick up, you can just steal. Okay. So the next thing I do is from that guy, you only need to pick up ammo and stim packs and bottle caps if he has it as well. To your left is a duffel bag with more items if you need it. I find that I don't need it at all. So over here at Red Rocket, there's a stim pack on the ground and a med box. What do I got on here? So I started off not going in. Well, I started off going into Red Rocket and getting the pre-war money to build a bed in Sanctuary later on. Then I stopped doing that to pick up to pick up cloth elsewhere. Now I pick it up again so I can sell to Cricket to make bartering there a little bit easier. So this is the Morat Cave, and this is also the only, at least ideally, the only place in the run where you would use a 10mm pistol. So you got to kill all the mole rats in this area. Don't worry about the one that's over in the nook to the left. I also shoot the gas to the right because that helps to kill the mole rat quicker. I get that. Okay. So yeah, killing all the mole rats here helps you to be quick, basically. Well, it helps you to get enough XP to later on get level 3 at the right time. Then you pick up the black rim glasses, and then in one opening of the Pip-Boy, you go to your level up, you get solar powered, then you equip the grenades, then you equip the black rim glasses, and then you exit. This is a bit better than equipping the grenades later on. Okay. So, next up I go into this house. Okay, so over here, I now pick up the cap stash, again to make bartering a little bit easier. But the main thing you want to get here is the Nuka Quantum. So in survival mode, Nuka Quantums aren't used to refill action points to sprint longer. They're used primarily at the very end in the airship fights to heal quickly. And any other place where you're in a lot of danger, take a quantum or two and you'll fare better than trying to use Stimpaks, basically. Oh, I do get that. Okay. I usually get the cap stash and then the quantum. So the next destination is the Speakeasy. Primarily what you want to get is a Gwyneth Stout, 2 XLs and 2 Day Trippers. You also want to make sure that you're not in caution, because if you are in caution, raiders can follow you into here, and that will not be good, because you are squishy and they are not so squishy. But another thing you want to get in here is, okay, right here. Sometimes this suitcase has a charisma clothing item in it, a suit or a dress or something like that. If it has a suit or dress or something that does charisma, pick it up so you can equip it later on. If it does not, just move on. Even if the item in here gives endurance, just carry on anyway, because it won't do anything once you're in power armor and isn't worth equipping. So there, yeah, there I picked up the clean black suit, so I can equip it later on. In the next video, I'll talk about what to do if you do or do not pick up the charisma clothing. So in the first area by the sink, and on the floor next to the sink, there was a Day Tripper. Next to the bed was 2 XLs, and over here is the Gwyneth Stouts. So as far as the speedrun goes, the Day Tripper is just used for the charisma, for +3 charisma. XL is just used for +2 charisma, and the Gwyneth Stout is just used for +1 charisma. The XL also gives you a bit more endurance for a bit of running, but that is not a big deal. So then you jump down there and you leave. So I guess the first thing is okay. The first thing coming up is basically just running past the raiders. Oh, this is a long loading. Oh no, here we are. Okay. So what I do is I just walk over to this corner to have as much action points as possible. And then once I think they've seen me, that's when I sprint past them. I might have been shot by them a few times, but I don't think I've been killed by them. So I just run up here, and then by this point they can't attack me at all. So you run up the staircase, run across this, and be careful not to drop off, because if you do, this roof is high enough that dropping down to the ground is enough fall damage to be lethal. And then this is roof jump. So you just sprint and then jump and then try to make it onto the tail. And then pretty much the roof of the vertibird is safe to walk on. I also find that entering the pressing X on the power armor while on the side causes you to put the core in. If you're finding that you're entering the power armor without putting the core in, then press square or R, put in the core, and then once the animation is over, then enter the power armor. But I usually find that I don't need to do that. So first you do this. Also that there is the animation for entering the power armor while under caution or danger. It's a little bit faster than if you're in hidden or detected. I don't think I manipulate. Yeah, I don't think I manipulate anywhere to make sure that I get the fast animation. I think primarily, if you get the fast animation, you get the fast animation, and that's good for you. So then, very important, pick up the minigun. And then I switch back. I switch back to the 10mm pistol, and then when I jump off to run off, that is when I end the split. And that will also be when I end the video. So the next one is going to detail the shopping split.